She wasn't who I thought, and now she won't leave me alone. You ever get that feeling? That gut instinct that something isn't quite right, but you ignore it because everything seems too perfect? I should have listened to that feeling. My name is Jake, and this is the most terrifying experience of my life. A story I wish wasn't true, but I swear to you, every single word is real. It all started when I joined a dating app. I wasn't the kind of guy who did this. I liked meeting people in real life, but after months of being single, my friends kept pushing me. Come on, man. What's the worst that could happen? I laugh now when I think about that, because the worst, it happened. Her name was Lily. She was stunning. Long dark hair, soft brown eyes, a smile that made me feel safe. She wasn't just beautiful, she was sweet. Her messages were funny, warm, and filled with little details that made it feel like she cared. We talked for weeks, late night texts, good morning messages, even voice notes. It felt real. She was different from the others. She never pushed for anything weird. She wanted to know about me, my childhood, my job, my favorite places. I should have seen the red flags, because I never realized I was telling her everything, and she was telling me nothing. Then, one night, she asked me out. I feel like I already know you, she said. Let's finally meet. I agreed. Of course, I agreed. We set a date, Friday night at a small diner in the city, a public place, safe, or at least, that's what I thought. I got there early. I was nervous but excited. She texted that she was on her way, so I ordered our drinks and waited. Then she walked in, and my stomach dropped. It was her, but also it wasn't. Her photos, they weren't exactly fake, but they were old, heavily filtered. Something was off. She was too thin. Her skin was pale, almost sickly, and her eyes, they weren't warm, they were hungry. Jake, she said, sliding into the booth. It's so good to finally meet you. I forced a smile. Yeah, you too. We started talking, but the way she spoke sent chills down my spine. She knew too much. How was work today? Bet your boss was on your case again. I never told her about my boss. That blue hoodie looks even better on you in person. I never told her what I was wearing. I laughed nervously. Did I tell you that? She tilted her head, smiling. Of course. I felt a chill crawl up my spine. We kept talking, but I felt watched. Every time I glanced around, I caught people staring at us, whispering. Then my phone buzzed. A new message from Lily, but she was sitting right in front of me. My stomach dropped. I opened the message. Whatever you do, don't leave with her. I looked up at her. She was still smiling, sipping her drink. My hands started shaking. If Lily was in front of me, then who sent that message? I forced a smile. Hey, I left my wallet in the car. Be right back. Her expression changed. For a split second, I saw something dark in her eyes. Don't be long, she whispered. I nodded, stood up, and walked fast. I didn't go to my car. I went straight to the bathroom, locking the door behind me. My hands were shaking as I texted back. Who is this? 3 dots, typing. Then, get out, she isn't real. What? Then knock, knock, knock. Jake? Her voice was on the other side of the door. You've been gone too long. The handle rattled. Come back to the table. I can barely breathe, I texted back. Who are you? Look under her sleeve. What? I peeked through the tiny bathroom vent. She was still outside the door, but her smile was gone. She looked angry. Her hands twitched at her sides. And then I saw it. A long, jagged scar running down her wrist. And something was moving beneath it, like something was alive under her skin. I nearly threw up. That's when I knew. This wasn't a normal girl. I couldn't stay. I texted back. How do I leave? Don't go out the front. She has friends waiting. I felt my blood turn to ice. I looked around, the window. I climbed onto the sink, pushed open the tiny bathroom window, and squeezed through. I hit the ground hard, scrambling to my feet. I didn't look back. I ran, through alleys, across streets, anywhere but that diner. I ran until my legs burned. When I finally stopped panting, I checked my phone. One last message. Don't go home. She knows where you live. My stomach dropped. I turned off my phone, got in my car, drove to a friend's place instead. I stayed there for 3 days. When I finally went home, my apartment door was unlocked. Inside, my stuff was moved. Nothing was stolen, nothing was broken. But on my bed was a note, scrawled in red ink. You were supposed to be mine. I moved out the next day. I deleted the app, I changed my number, but sometimes, when I'm alone, I still feel like I'm being watched, like she's waiting. So if you ever match with someone too perfect online, if they seem to know too much, look under their sleeve. And if you see something moving, run.